Now, Elon Musk says he will step down as chief executive of Twitter if, I quote, anyone foolish enough to take on the job can be found. Now, this is the first time Musk has mentioned stepping down as chief of the social media platform after Twitter users voted decisively in a poll for him to step down. Wall Street calls for Musk to step down has been growing for weeks, with Tesla having recently questioned his focus on the social media platform and whether that's distracting him from properly steering the electric vehicle business. We're joined now by Arthur Goldstuck, a managing director at World Wide Worx. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. Someone foolish enough to take the job. It sounds more like a dare than an actual job offer.
It's a dare and it's a threat, really, because what he's saying is two things. One, that running Twitter right now is a fairly deadly position or activity for anyone who values their future as an executive in the world of tech, because you cannot do anything right, especially if you're having to report to the owner, being Elon Musk. Anything you do is going to be seen as going wrong unless you're following his instructions to the letter. But the other aspect of that is that Musk will be running the technical side of the business in the background, and in effect, because it's an online tech, social media and social networking business, everything is technical. So he is still going to be calling the shots, and if the CEO makes decisions he doesn't like, they'll simply fire the CEO. People were surprised that he actually agreed to step down, but agreeing to step down and actually stepping down is two very different things, and it may be months before they identify the right person, and then it may be months before that person takes the helm. And then, of course, if that person doesn't steer the ship right, doesn't bring back advertisers, then Musk may well say, well, you haven't done the job, so I'm firing you and I'm taking over again.
I mean, over 10 million people voted for Musk to leave the position. Ever since he's taken on the ropes at Twitter from October the 27th, there's been controversy after controversy. I mean, staff getting fired, a lot of direction on journalists being suspended. What does that say about his management style at Twitter?
It's funny, there's a view amongst tech executives that he's doing the right thing by firing half the staff and in effect stamping his authority on the business and telling people that they better toe his line. And a lot of tech CEOs would love to do the same thing or have done the same thing and regard that as an appropriate approach to making sure people aren't going to see him as an easy touch. But having said that, he's flip-flopping on decisions and announcing something one day, putting back the next day, making wild accusations, sharing misinformation or conspiracy theories, calling on Fauci, the health guru of the United States, to be prosecuted, and the likes. That speaks of someone who doesn't really have a solid handle on the business that he's running. That chases away advertisers, and that in turn reduces the value of the business dramatically. So he owns the business, so Wall Street can't really tell him what to do with Twitter, but it can with regard to the likes of Tesla and SpaceX. Tesla is a listed company worth more than all other car companies put together. And of course, that places a major responsibility on him to act as a reliable, responsible corporate citizen, which he isn't doing with Twitter. So Twitter is spooking investors in his listed business.
Yeah, because he's also renewed warnings that it could be heading for bankruptcy. I mean, that doesn't sound very good, especially trying to understand what the future of the platform is.
Yes, it's hard to say what bankruptcy means for a business like that and an investor like that, but he is having to convince his co-investors to stay the course, and he's also gone back to the venture capital market asking for additional investment in Twitter. Now, anyone pouring money into Twitter right now is probably trying to burn their cash. They have more money than they know what to do with. It'll be very hard to see any responsible venture capital firm investing in Twitter, because their investors in turn, the people who actually fund their ventures, will see it as being irresponsible. So every which way right now, Twitter is on a losing run. But if he steadies the ship, if he shows that he can become a responsible leader and he can employ a responsible CEO in his place, that could bring back the advertisers, and they could start clawing back the massive losses they're making at the moment.
Yeah, very well. Thank you so much for your time, Arthur Goldstuck, Managing Director at World Wide Worx.